Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today I have a treat for you guys. I have a viewer deck profile. Recently, I've been streaming on Sundays, and I've had some viewers come on to play some games with me, and this is a deck profile by one of my viewers. His name is SycoSloth, and this is a free-based Beelzemon deck profile. He's just kind of using the free base to climb up into the Dinobeemon that lets you play a free trait Digimon, playing out Baalmon from BT10 with the free trait, using it to swing and die and hopefully get a free Beelzemon. The deck is super aggro, really creative and really interesting, and I just couldn't resist sharing this with you, so I have his blessing. I will put up his tech choices at the end so that you can see some more creative choices you can take with this. I did generalize the list a little bit to make it more user-friendly, but without further ado, for our eggs, we're going with the promo Motomiya. When attacking once per turn, if this Digimon is multicolored, by trashing one card in your hand, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. This is going to be great for our trash setup. Make sure you can get Beelzemon in trash, and making sure that we can hit our 10-card threshold for the on-deletion on the Baalmon. Just going to be a great egg for us to use in this deck. We have 2 copies of the BT16 Veemon. Your turn once per turn when one of your other Digimon is played or digivolves. If it has the free trait or is green, gain a memory. And then your turn, this gives a 2k DP bonus. The DP bonus is nice, but I think the nicer thing here is getting a memory when you evo into something that is free or green. We are going to be running the Davis and Ken that lets us play a free body. We do have scrambles, so it should be easy for this to see another Digimon digivolving into a free trait Digimon. We have 4 copies of the BT16 Wormmon. This evos for 0 on Minomon, and then start of your main phase and on play. If it is your turn, one of your Digimon may digivolve into a level 4 card with the Insectoid or free trait in the trash with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. And when attacking, you can suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. If you have never seen this card in action, if you play this with your Davis and Ken or a scramble, or you just promote it, this kind of enables your whole combo. You use this to evo into the promo Shadramon or one of your other level 4s, evo another level 3, and you just start climbing, and you do the thing. So this is integral to the combo, and we're going to make sure we run it at 4. We have 1 copy of the BT6 Impmon. On play, you can trash card in your hand. If you do, return a Digimon card with the 7 Great Demon Lords or 3 Musketeers in its types from your trash to the hand. This can grab us back our Beelzemon X Antibody. That is kind of the most important use we have for this card. We have 2 copies of the ST14 Impmon. When attacking, if you have 20 or more cards in your trash, this Digimon may digivolve into a Beelzemon from your trash for a Digivolution cost of 3, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. It's just the standard Warp Impmon because we do have the Beelzemon top end. It's kind of hard to resist running this because we will see 20 cards in the trash eventually. It also has the inheritable your turn once per turn. When a card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. Just some good crowd control in the inherits there. The last rookie we're going to be running is 3 copies of EX-03 Veemon. On play, you can trash a card with Imperial Dramon in its name or free in its traits from your hand to draw 2. Good way to build the trash, good way to put cards in our hand. Because we have so many colors, this is kind of our preferred method of searching. We're not going to be running trainings in this deck because we do have these and mist boosts. This is also going to give a 2k DP bonus while we have a purple Digimon in play, which we should, either with the Dinobeemon, the Baalmon, or perhaps a Blastace level 6. Moving on to our level 4s, we have 1 copy of the BT16 Stingmon. On play, when digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. SycoSloth did stress to me that the clutch factor of this card is primarily from gaining memory with the Davis and Ken. So this is our only level 4 in the lineup that can actually gain us memory off of that. So it is kind of important in that function. We have 3 copies of the EX-03 Shadramon. If you've never seen these EX-03 cards, what they do is the Blamon and Shadramon both say when digivolving, you can either digivolve one of your other Digimon into a red level 4 Digimon with the free trait in its trash for the cost, or you DNA digivolve this and another Digimon into a card in your hand for the cost. And then end of turn, this allows you to DNA as the inherit. So this does this for red, and the Flame Drum will do it for purple. Just make sure that you can evo into a card in the trash, and then DNA when you evo the second one into the other piece. So this is kind of your 2-card combo to get into your level 5. We do have 1 copy of Sethmon from BT16. It can evo on a Veemon for 2. It has Armor Purge when digivolving and when attacking. You can choose one of your Digimon, delete it, and one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as it. First of all, the Armor Purge on Veemon just means that this is kind of free chip, which is really useful. And then the when digivolving and when attacking triggers are both effective ways to delete our Baalmon to get the free Beelzemon on board if it does not die to the swing. So this is a little piece of insurance, rounds out our level 4 count, and has some functionality in getting us that free level 6 on board. We have 3 copies of the Flame Dramon, which, like we discussed with Shadramon, is going to either let you evo another one of your Digimon into a level 4 purple card with free in its traits from the trash for its cost, or DNA digivolve into a level 5. Also has the DNA inheritable. We are on 3 and 3 because I added 2 copies of the promo Shadramon. We did talk about how this card was expensive, so he is not running it in his basic build. He's just on 4 and 4 on the Shadramon and Flamedramon. I feel like you could get away with 2 copies of this card if you have it. If you don't, just go 4 and 4. But this is really just kind of builds the engine on its own, really. It evos on Wormmon for 2, and then when Digivolving, you play a Wormmon or Veemon from your trash suspended without paying the cost, and then the inherit says on deletion, play a Veemon or Wormmon from your hand suspended without paying the cost. If you promote the Wormmon and then you evo into this and you play a Wormmon from the trash, then that Wormmon can evo into the Shadramon or Flamedramon that forces the DNA. This just builds your whole level 5 stack and just gets you rolling. So I do like having 2 copies in the deck. I feel like it plays really nicely, but you could play around with that ratio if you don't want to fork over the money for this promo. It's really expensive right now. Moving on to the level 5s, we have 4 copies of the BT10 Baalmon. When attacking, you may trash up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, and then on deletion, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you may play 1 Beelzemon from your trash without paying its cost. The reason we can get away with running this in this deck is because it has the free trait. So our BT16 Dinobeemon here has Raid, Partition, level 4 and level 4, purple and red. When Digivolving, if DNA Digivolving, you play a level 5 or lower Digimon card with the free trait from your trash without paying the cost, then one of your Digimon gains Rush for the turn and may attack a player. So basically, we play out this Baalmon because it has free, and then we give it Rush and it can attack. It swings, it mills 3, we have 10 cards in trash. Hopefully this dies and we get a free Beelzemon. That's kind of the whole premise of the deck. It sounds funky, but it works really well, and it's really cool when it happens. Moving on to level 6s, 1 copy of BT16 GranKuwagamon Ace. We do sit on level 5s quite a bit in this deck, so having a Blast Ace is nice for the defensive option. On playing when Digivolving, this is going to suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Cards this effect suspends can't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase, then delete one of their suspended Tamers, and then your turn once per turn when this Digimon becomes suspended, one of your Digimon gains security attack +1 for the turn. This is a nice fit because it's going to keep things suspended down, and then it's also going to provide you some extra aggro in the deck because this is an aggressive deck. It wants to go fast and hit hard, and that security attack +1 is going to help you do that. We also have 1 copy of the new EX-08 Medieval Gallantmon. You can basically slam this down for 7 if there's 2 Digimon on the board, and then start deleting things. It's got Alliance, it's got Vortex, it's going to help you get in there, pop bodies, and swing into things at the end of your turn. Great card if you have it. If you don't, you can slot something else in. It's not the biggest deal, but it is a really powerful card, and we do have it available to us now in EX-8. Also, it can evo on Dinobeemon, which is also really nice because we have the red and red, so kind of no reason not to if you do have it. We do have 1 copy of Beelzemon X Antibody. It evos for 1 on Beelzemon, and then when Digivolving, if you have Beelzemon or X Antibody in your sources, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack for every 10 cards in your trash. On deletion, you can play 1 Digimon card with Impmon in its name from your trash without paying the cost. This is our finisher. We want to have X Antibody underneath the Beelzemon, swing in, trash security, and then win the game. We have 1 copy of the EX2 Beelzemon. When this card gets trashed from your deck, you play an Impmon from your trash without paying its cost, and then when Digivolving and on attack, you can trash top 2 cards of your deck. Delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. For every 10 cards in your trash, you add 1 to the max level. So if there's 20 cards, you're going to pop a level 5 instead of a 3, etc., etc. You're going to start climbing the levels the later this gets played. And then we do have 2 copies of the EX6 Beelzemon. This has Rush, which is why it is nice to play off of the Baalmon. If Baalmon dies, you get the Beelzemon. Beelzemon can then swing in. On play, and when Digivolving, it's going to trash top 4. Then if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you de-Digivolve 2 on one of your opponent's Digimon. It's going to be a nice way to break their board down, on top of getting the Rush aggro from the Baalmon and the Beelzemon. And then all turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by battle, you place a 7-grade Demon Lord's trait card from your trash as the bottom source of a Gate of the Deadly Sins. That's never going to happen. We don't have the Gate, so it's kind of irrelevant. Moving on to options, 1 copy of Demonic Disaster. Good way to pop Baalmon if it doesn't die on the swing. You can get in there with the Dinobeemon, pop the Baalmon to unsuspend the Dinobeemon, then you get your Beelzemon with Rush, and then the Dinobeemon can swing again, and that's 4 checks on its own. We have 1 copy of Calling from the Darkness, another way to pop Baalmon, gets you your pieces back, kind of insurance to make sure that we get that Beelzemon X Antibody in our hand. We do have 3 copies of Mist Memory Boost, probably the best way for us to get memory and put cards in the trash at the same time. 2 copies of Purple Scramble. It's going to help us evo for cheaper and also make sure that we can get some level 3s on the board. If the opponent has something, it enables the whole climbing play shenanigans that we talked about by wanting 2 rookies on the board. This is another way for us to get another rookie on the board besides the Davis and Ken. We have the 1 copy of X Antibody for the Beelzemon X Antibody play. 4 copies of Davis, Motomiya, and Ken from BT16. Starter main, you can play an Veemon or Wormmon from your hand without paying the cost. At the next end of your opponent's turn, return to the hand. That should never happen because you're DNAing into a new Digimon, so there's nothing to return to hand. And then your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves into a blue or green Digimon by suspending this Tamer, you gain a memory. That's what the Stingmon was for, but it will also trigger if you evo into the GranKuwagamon or the Medieval Gallantmon. And then we do have 2 copies of Matt Ishida as the memory tamer. This is one of the cards I added. I talked to him about a memory setter because it would be a little bit easier for people to play, and he said this would be a good one. When one of your effects trashes a card in your hand, you can suspend this tamer to gain a memory. It is a mem setter. This is going to synergize really well with the Minomon promo egg that we're using. So whenever you trash a card for that, you're going to go up to 4 memory, and that's just plenty of memory to play with and do your DNA plays with. So that is what we've got for the free base Beelzemon deck profile. It's a super cool profile from SycoSloth. I'll put his tech options on the screen so you can see what he recommends as cards you can slot in and play around with. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. I'll do my best to get to them. I'm sure he'll chime in. He's here all the time. And if you want to see one of your deck profiles possibly make it on the channel, hop in our streams Sundays around 8 p.m. We do viewer games. Good way to put cool deck profiles up on this channel. You know, I've played against lots of cool stuff. I'll have more that wind up on this channel. So if that's something you're interested in, consider stopping by the stream, saying hi, and playing some games. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Thank you to our YouTube members for supporting this channel. It's people like Langlong, Big Z11, Coffee Deus, and Octavian who make videos like this possible.